Hey Taurus, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we're actually doing the look ahead at August readings. Okay, so a little bit early, but I will be actually doing a few more readings looking at August as well as this particular one. So over the next week, definitely keep an eye out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with all those readings. There will definitely be more in regards to, looking over August and what's coming up for you. This particular reading, we're going to be looking at your challenges, a bit of a general overview, as well as, looking for the good stuff in the month as well. Okay, but I am using primarily the Kawaii lenormand today, but I do also have here the Alice in Wonderland Oracle. All right, but getting into it for you, Taurus. Taurus, what's going on for Taurus throughout August 2025? Start, middle, and end of August for our Taurus. Interesting energy here, Taurus. I can't remember which sign it was. It may have been Cancer potentially had a very sort of similar energy coming through. Firstly, starting the month off, we have the lilies. Okay, so this is kind of the lilies is about, looking at your retirement, looking at old age, looking at, where you want to be 20, 30, 40 years from now. And it is bringing up a little bit of emotion in you this month as to, well, it's kind of that, you're looking at the final goals in order to work out, okay, well, this is where I am now. This is where I want to be, in 40 years time. How do I get to that? And so I do feel as though some of you are feeling a little bit emotional at the start of the month. There is a bit of sensitivity there about, well, maybe I'm not doing what I need to do in order to, reach my goals and whatnot in the future. That on this track I'm currently on, I'm not headed towards where I want to be. So it's kind of looking at those sorts of things that, because I'm hearing the phrase, I thought I would be further than I am. That, you at the start of August here, you're kind of feeling like you're looking at your life and the projection of your life, into the future here. And you're kind of going, well, by this point in my life, I wanted to be further along, closer to certain, goals, so that, things would keep progressing to some, eventual goal. Things of like, where do I want to be when I, at the end of my life? What do I want to have achieved in my life? And, I thought at this point I would be further up that ladder than where I currently am. So that brings up some emotions in you, of course, but it's really actually giving you this opportunity to kind of work out exactly where you need to change things around and what you need to do in order to, get back on track with that and sort of get, maybe speed up a few years and that kind of thing. I am picking up like a strong financial career energy for August for you here. Following that through, we have the coffin for the middle of the month and then the masculine for the end of the month there. Okay, so the masculine shows us that at the end of August, by the end of August, you'll be sort of knuckling down, taking a little bit more control over where you're going here. That does feel very connected to career and money. So it's kind of like by the end of the month, you're at the start of the month, you are getting a little bit emotional about it. But then by the end of the month, you're kind of knuckling down, going, that's it, I'm going to take control. I'm going to really focus on, the material for a little while, the reality of, what I need to do to, build up that nest egg or whatever that is for you, like to get to those goals a little bit quicker. So it's kind of feeling like by the end of the month, we do see that transformation right there in the middle of the month there. So that's really looking at, transforming the things that are no longer working for you, closing the lid on, bringing a few things to an end that, are not taking you where you want to go. You're kind of like, well, I'm done with that because it's not leading me where I want to actually be in the long run. So I'm going to, close the lid on that and, put all that effort and time and energy into the things that actually are taking me towards my goals, which, do feel very, very career money orientated. All right, so that coffin, it really is just talking about, death is just a brand new beginning. That the end of something in your life actually allows you to, have that all that time, that energy to put into other things. So it's kind of like a transformative energy, like a death and then a rebirth. So it's a transformation, basically, of the things that aren't taking you towards your goals. So you're stopping those. That's the death of those things that aren't actually getting you anywhere, and then we're putting all that energy into the things that will get us somewhere. So it does feel as though, especially with that masculine at the end of the month, very focused on material, reality based structures, trying to just be very logical about what I'm doing with my life, rather than allowing those emotions to sort of take over and just beat yourself up and whatnot. This is being kind to yourself and allowing yourself to use those emotions to sort of really, really make these changes, that you are looking for. But looking at the challenges you're going to be facing in August, what are the challenges for Taurus in August? We have the stork and the letter. Okay, so you can see the stork here packing up his bags, getting ready to go. So I do feel as though this is finding fresh perspectives, finding new ideas, working out how to make this transformation, working out, well, I know the things that need to end. I do feel very clearly that you're able to sort of work out what needs to close off in your energy, and your life in general. But then you're kind of like left with all this energy, and it kind of stirs up something within you of like, well, now I need to come up with new ideas and new things to put my time and energy into. And that's the challenge for you here, is to, find those fresh perspectives and find those new ideas. So being inventive, or coming up with fresh ideas is going to be a bit of a challenge for you this month, as well as communication. So we do see the letter there as well. So um, there is, the letter can talk about all forms of communication, but I just feel as though this is something that it's just a bit of a struggle for you to know how to express yourself, especially with the stork there, that's stirring up those fresh perspectives. Like I said, that's the struggle there, is communicating this and translating all of these feelings into words for yourself. I feel like that's a bit of the struggle here, that you may have this feeling of, I need these new ideas, but to actually like word them to yourself seems to be the difficulty here. To actually like, it's like you have the sensation of needing new, but to actually work out exactly what the new is and communicate that to anyone around you or yourself even, is a bit of a struggle here. But we'll have a look at the ways that you can overcome these challenges. Advice for Taurus to overcome challenges in August. And also, I am saying here, this also could be a challenge, communicating with an Aries. Okay, specifically, there may be an Aries that the stork is the Aries card, so there may be just difficulties with communication with an Aries for some of you there as well. So you may be, struggling to tell the Aries exactly what you need to tell them, and that sort of thing, or struggling, miscommunication. It feels like. Advice for Taurus to overcome challenges in August, please. Trust your relationships. Okay, we have the ring here and the clouds. So even though you are struggling to communicate, trust that those relationships are sometimes, you can communicate with people that care about you and know you very well, without words, so trust that those relationships are there to support you and can sort of support you in ways, even if you can't verbalize, or communicate that you need that extra help at the moment. But it's also, it's kind of showing me here that cycles, patterns. So looking back around your past, because I see you looking very far forward here and where you want to be, 30, 40 years from now. But there is some advice here to, that the answers can actually be found in the past, and that what cycles have you broken in the past, and what has that then led to, and the cycles of life that you have found yourself, the patterns that you've experienced throughout your life, they actually really can help you work out where the cycle goes from here with the current energy. So I do feel this energy of, looking back at the past patterns a little bit, and what has changed and what hasn't changed within those patterns and cycles. That can actually really help you, remove the confusion for yourself, especially with the clouds here, because the clouds shows us, the logical way of thinking is actually doing you good this month. Sometimes this can be overthinking and whatnot as well, but as long as you're overthinking as like in a non-damaging way, all right, you're not. I don't feel like you're overthinking. I feel like it's like you're just thinking everything through clearly. You're thinking before doing. You're just really paying attention to thinking things through very, very clearly, and the whole way through, the whole way through, not just thinking about the here and the now. You're thinking about, what will that lead to, around that loop, with the cycles and the patterns, like what will that lead to next year? What will that lead to the year after that? That kind of thing. What will that lead to 10 years from now? So you are just, spending a lot of time actually thinking things through this month rather than actually doing. It's, like I said, you're just kind of knuckling down and doing what you need to do. But then, when it comes to future plans, you are, trying to just sort of think things through very, very clearly before you are, ready to splash out into the world. Because, with that stork there as the challenge and then the clouds as the advice, you may just have too many different ideas. And that's why you are trying to, think each one through very clearly before you sort of rashly act on something that turns out to not be the idea that you want it to be in the long run there. So thinking things through very clearly this month. Okay. The good stuff for Taurus. What's the good stuff for Taurus in August? The good stuff coming in for Taurus in August. Firstly, we have keeping up. Okay, so I know these cards are a little bit hard to see with the holographic effect there. That is keeping up, immense effort and advance. So, that's that just knuckling down kind of energy. You're kind of like, well, do you know what? I know what I can do right here, right now, so I'm just going to knuckle down and get that done, and I'm just going to focus on my job. I'm just going to focus on, building that nest egg, those sorts of things. I'm putting all my effort into, just building what I can, before, while I'm struggling to really work out exactly what ideas I'm taking to the next level or whatnot. While I'm clearly thinking everything through, I'm just going to knuckle down and do what I can to just, increase my current energy. We also have follow the white rabbit. Curiosity meets opportunity. All right. So I do feel as though there is some interesting good stuff there in that particular one, where thinking through all these different things, the more that you're thinking through all these, the way that this could go and this could go, it's you being very curious. Okay, so really appreciate the fact that that's actually the good thing this month, is that you're not just jumping into anything, any old thing. You're thinking things through very, very clearly. And then I kind of feel as like that's kind of something that's just going to happen for you naturally here, Taurus, that you're going to have all these different ideas rattling around in your head. And then, because you're curious about how that might work out and how that might work out here, you're really thinking things through. And you're not even really talking to anyone about what you're thinking through. You're just, observing and learning. And it's actually leading you to certain opportunities might pop up this month connected to the ideas that it's kind of like you're going to have one of those moments, I feel here, where it's like you've had these ideas, you've been thinking about, oh, what about that? What about that? And you're going to start seeing opportunities for, oh, come and do this, or try this, and you're going to be like, I how did targeted advertising hear my thoughts? So it's going to feel like that at some point during the month, I think. And it's just like, because you're getting curious and you're looking for answers of what is right for you. And that's going to actually give you these opportunities to understand, what is right for you. So it will sort of really lead you to this transformative energy within yourself. But we'll clarify that here as well. Taurus, the good stuff for Taurus in August. Firstly, we have the crossroads. So this is just part of your path. So the good stuff is that all the choices and decisions that you're having to make this month are choices where it's like either way is going to work fine. No matter what choice you make, either choice is good for you and your path. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of good choices. So when you're given opportunities this month, it's an opportunity between one good thing and another good thing. So both of those choices are good. So it's like, would you like a free chocolate ice cream, or would you like a free chocolate bar? They're both good options, right? We also see the mountain. Okay, so this is actually just hard work. So that's actually one of the good things for you this month, is just knuckling down and focusing on, putting your head to the ground and putting in the work, being very determined. Those the Taurus energy of being stubborn and patient and resilient, they're really working in your favor this month. And so they're actually the good things about you this month, Taurus. They're working really for you rather than against you, and enabling you to just work. Just keep on working, keep on persevering, keep on going, and knowing that, you are on the right path and things are happening the way that you need. And you are building goals. You are building your safety, your security. You've got a really good home here in the good stuff as well. So your home base is strong, whether that is just within your own self, that safety and security you feel within yourself. For some of you, this is your actual home. On the home front, things are good. Family, close loved ones, that sort of, it's all good. That's all good. It's all the good stuff. It's safe, it's secure, it's not going anywhere. You can rely on the home stuff. The home front is good for you, even if that's just your little safety, your little bubble. It's all good. All right, so I really like to see that in that one, because it's not it's not move. There's no movement. It's all the movement is happening up in your head this month. I think you're just thinking things through about where do I want to go next, and I feel like come September you might start making some bigger moves. But August is just kind of knuckle down and get it done month, and it's actually where you need to be this month. So it's working out for you in the long run. Okay, but you are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys all soon.